Hi, it's Amanda, and we're having philosophical couch time. And today, what we're going to investigate is why ethics is important to your daily life and why it's collective to your cultural life as well. Tied within this idea is what ethics is, the study of ethics, the different kinds of ethics, and how it affects you as an individual. So, to begin, we can look at the word ethics itself. Coming from ethos, which is a Greek word which means either habit or character, we can think of the age old adage, character is what you do when no one's watching. So, in the same way, ethics is something that you believe in or a moral code that determines what you believe is important, what you find of value, and is very inward to yourself. So, tied in with this is the first reason why ethics is so important, which is that it allows you to prioritize and really come up with your own value system for what's important in your life. So, by being able to sit down and look at what's important to you and what you find to be of value and what you find not to be of value, it helps you to organize your life in a succinct way. So, by having these ethical backgrounds, you can then determine how you want to go about your life, the kind of job you want to have, what you want to lobby your government for, and what you want to spend your free time doing. An example of this within my own life is that I am a vegetarian, and the reason for this is because I'm an avid animal lover, and I find that within myself, I have an ethical code that says it's wrong to kill animals. So, this is one example of how having an ethical background and an inner moral compunction allows me to decide what's important to me in my life and what I want to spend my time advocating for. Also, tied within this is the idea of ethics as a cultural tradition and something that unites people. So, by having an understanding of your own personal ethic, it gives you the ability to connect with those from the same subset, such as Greek, your heritage, being an African American, being a Caucasian European. All of this has an ethical tradition that goes along with it. And while you may not fit on the individual level succinctly within one group, you can definitely see where your upbringing and this ethical tradition of your culture allows you to connect with those people. An example of this for me is that I am Greek, came from a big fat Greek family like the movie. And so for us, it's very important to have family as a key moral code and ethic. So, in this way, for a Greek person and myself, and for most of my family, it is seen as very important to put your family first, to have a ethical tradition that focuses very strongly on family, and this is a way of uniting those within a Greek culture. In the same way, you can think of being American. As an American, we have a background in this ethic tradition. So, an example of this might be capitalism, or might be the idea of individual rights. This is an ethical tradition of what is morally important to many Americans in the way that it forms an identity. While this may not be important to you or to me, it is something we can identify as American and allows us to see ethics on a broader scale. In addition to this, ethics is important to have and to understand because it gives you a background for understanding events as they come up. So, tied in with this idea is the fact that ethics is not something that really is going to give you a roadmap or a set of 1, 2, 3 rules that you can follow. Instead, because ethics is so inward and based on a value system, it's more like a roadmap, or possibly like a light in a dark room, which is to say, it's not going to give you the exact definition of what you're going to do in every situation, but it gives you a background for understanding it. In this way, by knowing about your moral code and your own value system, it's easier to understand how you feel about, say, ISIS, or how you feel about something else that happens in the news. In this way, it gives you an understanding of cultural events that happen in your life, as well as a deeper understanding of many existing philosophical debates that exist within our culture, within literature, and other things like that. You think about the concept of the good, or what is the good society. This comes up a lot not only in philosophy, but in many common readings such as The Hunger Games. And by understanding your own ethical background and your own value system, it gives you the ability to have a greater depth of understanding into these materials. So, in conclusion, ethics is important on many different levels, including the individual, the collective, and just on a broader scale. So by having this ethical background, you can better understand the world you live in. You can have a better understanding of yourself and your own values, and you can better understand yourself as a member of a larger group. So this is why I would say ethics is very important and worth studying within philosophy.